Imagine you're holding a piece of paper. Tear it in half, then in half again. Keep going until you can't tear it anymore. What's left are tiny particles called atoms, the building blocks of everything around us. Understanding atoms is crucial for your GCSE exams, so let's dive into this fascinating world. Atoms are the smallest units of matter that retain the properties of an element. Each atom consists of a nucleus, made up of protons and neutrons, surrounded by electrons that move in orbits. The number of protons, called the atomic number, defines the element. For instance, hydrogen has 1 proton, while carbon has 6. This is a key point to remember. The atomic number determines the element. When revising, focus on the structure of the atom. The nucleus contains protons, which have a positive charge, and neutrons, which are neutral. Electrons, with a negative charge, orbit the nucleus. The number of protons equals the number of electrons in a neutral atom, balancing the charges. For example, carbon has 6 protons and 6 electrons. If an exam question asks you to describe the structure of an atom, highlight these components and their charges. A common topic in exams is isotopes. Isotopes are atoms of the same element with different numbers of neutrons. An exam question might ask you to explain isotopes or compare 2 isotopes of an element. Remember to mention the difference in neutron numbers while the proton number remains constant. Another important concept is ions. Atoms become ions when they gain or lose electrons, resulting in a net charge. If an atom loses an electron, it becomes a positively charged ion, cation. If it gains an electron, it becomes a negatively charged ion, anion. Sodium, Na, losing 1 electron to become Na+, and chlorine, Cl, gaining 1 electron to become Cl, are classic examples. In your exams, you might be asked to explain how ions form, or to write the electronic configuration of ions. Practice identifying the loss or gain of electrons and the resulting charge. The periodic table is your roadmap for understanding elements. Elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. Groups, vertical columns, indicate elements with similar properties, and periods, horizontal rows, show increasing energy levels of electrons. Familiarize yourself with the periodic table, as it's a valuable tool in both revision and exams. You might be asked to locate an element, identify its group, or predict its properties based on its position. Chemical bonding is another crucial topic. Atoms form bonds to achieve stable electronic configurations, usually resembling the nearest noble gas. There are 2 primary types of bonding: ionic and covalent. Ionic bonding occurs between metals and nonmetals, where electrons are transferred, forming ions. Covalent bonding happens between nonmetals, where electrons are shared. For example, in sodium chloride, NaCl, sodium transfers an electron to chlorine, forming ionic bonds. In a water molecule, H2O, hydrogen and oxygen share electrons, forming covalent bonds. An exam question might ask you to describe these types of bonds or draw diagrams to illustrate them. Practice explaining the processes and drawing clear, labeled diagrams. With these tips and a solid understanding of atoms, you'll be well prepared for your exams. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember that every tiny atom plays a huge role in the world of science.